This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
Start with Cam now, but I got to give Gus 1388 a lot of love. He sent in 2 super chats. The first one, he says, Woj, via con Dios, MJ, LOL, because, you know, MJ's selling the team. Thank you, my brother. Then he sends in a second super chat. He says, don't forget, MJ's mama made the deal for the shoes based on air. So think about this. Michael Jordan has the shoes because of his mom and the money because of his mom. And he couldn't run the Hornets at all. So if there's one thing we all learn now that when he sells the Hornets, when Michael Jordan walks up to you and says, hey, I want to run your business, you run in the other direction as far and as fast as possible. Okay? That's all I got to tell you. How you doing, Cam?
I'm good, man. How are you, O?
Isn't it amazing how the greatest player in the world, because, you know, Woj just broke that he's about to sell the team. And to me, this is a great day for Charlotte Hornets fans because you're a little too young, but George Shinn is one of the great, terrible owners in the history of all of sports. Okay. And he owned the Hornets from the expansion years on for many years and then sold it to MJ for $300 million. And MJ's going to sell this for close to $1 billion, I would imagine.
Yeah,
and so he's going to make a lot of money, but it's amazing how Jordan, you know, one of the great players of all time, can't really find talent and is a terrible talent evaluator. I mean, one of the worst executives in the history of all of sports is Michael Jordan. Isn't it awesome? And by the way, Sean nailed it. You have your MJ brand, right? We should take out a GM brand and it's the crying MJ face on it. That's his shoe that's his GM shoe.
Right. I think it actually doesn't surprise me a lot that MJ has been as bad in this role as he has, because it's sort of everything in pro sports. If you're really, really good at something, you typically aren't that good coach or good GM. How many times do we see where it's the backup quarterback who was 9 years as a backup, started 2 games, ends up being the Super Bowl winning coach? Doug Peterson comes to mind, for example. For
Gary
that,
Kubiak.
You know?
Gary
Kubiak. You never see the Tom Brady's, the Peyton Mannings, the those type of guys become elite coaches.
Bro, Don Shula sucked at football at the pro level.
Yeah.
Bill Belichick.
Same thing.
No, but Belichick didn't even make it to the pros. At least Shula made it to the pros, but he was like Pat Riley. Pat Riley was a bench player, like a defender off the bench. He was never even close to even being a really key role player or anything in basketball. And look at him now. You know what I'm saying? You're right.
I think
the great players suck as executives and coaches.
I think there's something about your greatness that you try to or fail to transfer to everyone else, whether it's evaluating talent or getting it out of them. It's just hard to view people who are not as good as you and try to make them into what you want. And so a lot of times it's the guys, hey, I know how to do it, I just physically can't, that can excel as a coach or as a GM, and so, or even an owner in Michael Jordan's case. It's interesting, right? Because it's become a joke almost, the Michael Jordan Hornets,
unfortunately,
right? And so I think it was about time, because you don't want it to become, and he's already been 13 years, so maybe it's too late, but you don't want it to become a point where it starts to affect your overall legacy, what you're doing as a owner, right? And so as a player, we still think of Michael Jordan as a player, as a shoes, but if he does this for another 5 or 10 years, you start to think of failure in his post-career just as much as you think of his career. And so he makes a bunch of money, he goes to live his life, and he doesn't have to deal with the stressors. It's also important for the Hornets because, look, this is the offseason where they have the number 2 overall pick. I think they have 2 other high first-round pick, or 2 other first-round picks as well.
Yeah.
They have a young roster with Ball and with Bridges and a couple of these dudes who, you know, they seem on the precipice if they make the right moves. And so it's about time for him to let somebody else make these calls and let somebody else run this thing and see if Charlotte can find his way back into being a winner.
All right. You got a question from Dougie Fresh. Prepare yourself. Question from Cam. Who would get kicked out of the Wolf Pack first? Conor McGregor for not keeping his paws to himself? Scottie Pippen saying MJ is not an alpha? Or Zion for eating everyone's food?
Conor McGregor gets kicked out of the Wolfpack. We have very little toleration for disrespect or assaulting women in the Wolfpack, and so
Yeah.
what he's alleged to doing immediately gets him kicked out of the Wolfpack. We
And
are
plus,
we are
we understand we have to feed Zion because he
yes,
needs to
yes.
be fed.
Hey, we all have our vices, right?
Right.
And so
exactly.
Zion, so Zion, we're gonna eat. Like we're a Wolfpack, we eat. And so
Right.
you may be a little bit of an overeater, but you're not gonna be too different than us in the Wolfpack. And who was the other guy that was mentioned?
Scottie Pippen saying
Scottie
MJ
Pippen.
is,
Hey, hey,
that's a
hey,
personal thing. Poor guy, right?
yeah, yeah, and you know they call us lone wolf sometimes, and so
Right. And
Scottie Pippen is a
his
lone wolf.
ex-wife is dating Michael's son. So we
Yeah,
understand the frustrations of Scottie Pippen. We understand the food dilemmas
yeah,
of
yeah,
Zion, but we
yeah.
can't excuse Scottie McGregor
Conor
for
McGregor.
this. Yeah,
Exactly,
Conor
exactly,
McGregor. I'm sorry.
exactly.
We can't. I'm with you.
Exactly.
I'm with you. That makes
Exactly.
a lot of sense.
Zion and Scotty remain wolves, and we'll deal with them as we have to.
Right.
But Conor McGregor, you're out. You're out of the wolf.
Oh, by the way, you're the leader of the wolf pack. See, here's the best part about it. Do you know what happens with the leader of the wolf pack? The leader of the wolf pack, when they attack the animal and they devour the animal, you, the leader of the wolf pack, you go for the liver and what's the other the liver and the kidneys, because
Yeah.
those are the things that has the most nutrients and vitamins and all kinds of stuff. And then the rest of the wolves are left the rest of the body, which is Zion. So he eats all the fat and all the other stuff. You got the substance because you're the leader of the wolf pack, bro.
Hey, it is what it is. I've got to get the liver and the kidney.
Yeah, that's
Zion,
it. And that's why you look slim. And see, Zion is, picking up the ass and the other stuff on the, it's just not, poor guy. He's eating all the fat stuff. You're eating the healthy stuff, bro.
We all have our roles in the wolf pack.
That's
and Zion, maybe in a different life, you would have been the lead wolf, but right now you have to take the scraps that you can get.
Did you know that, by the way? Did you know that fact?
I knew that I didn't know what body parts they were.
Oh, no, yeah. When you see a wolf pack, there's a leader of the wolves. And then when they devour an animal, the rest of the wolf pack waits for the leader to get their piece.
I didn't know that. I didn't know that. I didn't know what
the liver and the kidneys. The leader will always go for the liver and the kidneys, and then the rest of the wolf pack will devour the rest of the animal. It's pretty amazing. It's like
there's not a lot of nutrients in the heart.
Not like the kidneys and the liver. No.
Interesting.
Yeah, because everything pumps through it where everything gets filtered there in the other ones.
Yeah.
So that's why the liver and the kidneys are so important. And then the leader of the wolf pack actually goes for that. See, so folks, this shows more than sports, by the way.
Hey, we're talking about education. This is what is a show called? Discovery Channel. We got Discovery Channel.
The more you know is what we say here on this show. The more you know, and then the little rainbow with the stars, the more you know comes out. So that's kind of the way you go. Average salaries of the 4 biggest U.S. sports leagues. Average $8.3 million for the NBA, $4 million for baseball, $3.2 for football, and $2.6 for hockey. Well, hockey is a lesser sport, but the thing about basketball is it has less players too. And so they pay less people. Yeah, they pay less people. Dude, the majors has the minors on top of all of that.
Basketball has the best setup. I always hear NFL players talk about that. There's always that. I think the Kelsey brothers did a podcast on this one time about how many NFL players could become NBA players, and the real answer is none. Because if any NFL player could really become a competent NBA player, they would have done it. They got guaranteed money. They don't get hit. They would do it. It's a preferable league for players to play in.
I got something better for you. If they could have been baseball players, they would have been baseball players because that's even easier. That's even more guarantees, and you're doing less and less wear and tear on your body and everything, dude. Please.
I'll only disagree
with baseball. That's why.
I'll only disagree with baseball for one perspective because you have to go through the minors process. Pretty much everyone does, and sometimes you get stuck in the minors process. Yeah. Whereas if you're a good enough NBA player, you get drafted, you go straight to the league. your contract's going to be guaranteed off the butt. So you, at 19 years old, you're already making millions a year. Versus baseball, you might get a signing bonus initially, and you might not get real money until you're 26, 27, 28. And so that, for that reason only, I think the NBA is probably
That's
one.
if you're not special. I'm talking about if you're a special baseball player.
Well, no,
Yuri Perez is in the majors already, and he's a baby. You know what I'm saying? And he's dealing. So there are certain guys that'll make the transition.
I'd say the average star baseball player is spending still at least, even the star ones, are still spending at least 3 years in the minors.
You're right.
That's 3 years you're getting paid in the NBA. But I'm with you. Baseball has no real salary cap. I mean, there's a tax, but there's not a salary cap. And so, yeah, you get to the right team, you can get like Shoni Otana. He's going to get paid over $500 million on this next contract.
Yeah, but he's the biggest freak in the history of baseball, bro.
Yeah, he's pitching and hitting and doing it all. But yeah, if they're having over $500 million contracts, what is that? That's a Patrick Mahomes contract.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's fully guaranteed. Pat's not fully guaranteed.
That's the thing about baseball.
Pat will get all 500. I don't think he has anything to worry about.
The only thing I feel, you know what I feel really bad about, and I hate that I have to think this way nowadays when I watch baseball. I hate that Trout and Ohtani are stuck with the Angels. I do. I hate it. I'm sorry, because I know what they are. And I know what Artie Moreno, I know Artie's going to be selling the team now or whatever, but I know who you are. And so I'm never going to see the great players in great moments that they deserve to be in. You know what I'm saying? And so I think we lost him there. We got him back. Okay, so that's my problem. So I almost feel like Ohtani and Trout should be, on the Dodgers or on the Yankees or somewhere. Phillies that'll spend money, or the Atlanta
Angels are, Yeah, it's a running joke because I'm a baseball fan. It's among baseball fans how Ohtani and Trout are two of the top 3, 4 best players in the world. They're on the Angels team, and they never. It's like it'll be like, hey, show me a ton of.
Let's reconnect. Hold on a second. Let's reconnect because you're popping in and out. You're cutting in and out. Hold on a second. See if we can reconnect and get a better connection there with Cam. Animal Planet section with Cam. Yes, exactly. But I bet you it's a nugget most of you did not know about a wolf pack. What the leader of the wolf actually does, first and foremost. So just do we have him back yet? All right, let's see. Let's get him back in there. The heart is a muscle and tough. Kidneys and liver are sweetbreads. I like that, Nyborg. It's very nice. It's very nice. We got him in. All right. There we go.
Sound better now?
Okay, there you are. Yeah. Okay. What were you saying? Because of Ohtani?
Yeah, no, I was like Ohtani and Trout are both on the Angels. 2 of the best 3 or 4 players in the league. And every year the Angels are not making the playoffs, right? And there's a running joke. Like Ohtani will throw 8 shutout innings, go 3 for 4 with 2 home runs. Trout will go 4 for 5 with 3 home runs, and the Angels lose 10-6. Right. It's like you're essentially wasting a couple of the best players in the world. And so,
well, we've already wasted most of Trout's career already.
And he's on a long-term deal. So Ohtani's coming up. He'll be a free agent this offseason. It sounds like he's going to leave and probably take whatever the best offer is elsewhere, which may be the Dodgers, maybe it's the Giants. Sounds like he wants to stay west. So
he's Asian, bro. West Coast mostly. Most of the time, Asians are more comfortable on the West Coast because there's a ton of Asians. It's like telling a Cuban, where you want to be? Oh, dude, I want to be in South Florida, man. Of course. All my Cuban people are there. It's just the same thing. Tons of Asians on the left coast, and that makes a lot of sense for him. Once in a while, they get him to come over to the East. I'm sure
maybe New York. Maybe get him to New York.
Although I don't know if this Yankee ownership is the same, dude. These younger Steinbrenners don't have the cojones and the aggressiveness of the old man. They don't go all the way. That's why they haven't won since what, 2009? Right? Is it 2009?
Yeah. Sounds like I don't remember.
By the way, George was on his deathbed in 2009. That was kind of the end of that's the end of the run with George. Since the kids took over, you can win because you're going to be able to spend some money, but they don't go all the way like George did. Like George didn't give a crap. He wanted to win. And that's something that you have to respect. He did it all within the rules of the game. It is the rules. But you know who could give him the money in New York is the other crazy bastard, Steve Cohen from the Mets.
I hope not. You know I'm a Phillies fan. I want the Mets to suffer.
No, I know that. Hell, by the way, your Phillies spend money too. I don't know if they would spend that kind of money, but
we've already spent on Bryce and Trey Turner. I think we're a big market team, but we're probably like the 5th or 6th this market team. We're not 1 or 2. So I think Bryce and Trey Turner and Nick Castellanos, that's probably the limit. Yeah.
I hope somebody with money gets him, like somebody legit gets him, because Ohtani's
somebody with money will get him. He's going to be making $500 million guaranteed at minimum, $50 million a year. Sure. Somebody with money is going to get him. He might make more than the Marlins' entire payroll next year.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Definitely. Yeah, I'm with you. Hey, I was having some fun with this because we've talked out the Dalvin Cook topic like crazy, but last time you were on earlier in the week, we talked about how Saquon's having his issues. Aaron Jones had to take the pay cut.
Yep.
Eckler could not find any takers. By the way, Kareem Hunt is just sitting out there by himself in free agency.
He might have to take a minimum deal.
And nobody, brother, I mean, the disrespect for that position. Yeah. It's amazing how you are a one contract position.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't think there's any running backs in the league that have more than 2 years guaranteed on their contract. Like other than rookies, obviously rookies get that. But like any second contract guys, they're essentially getting deals where it's 1 or 2 year deals and guarantees. So you're literally every running back who's not on a rookie deal is either year by year or 2 years at a time, which is a wild thought. There's quarterbacks who have 4 years guaranteed. There are offensive linemen and defensive linemen that have 3 years and a second guaranteed year. What do we got here? John Morant, 25 games, popping in here, suspended. But yeah, it's a wild element for that running back position, and I think it is sad because these guys do contribute a lot, and I hope the NFL works in waves. I hope that we're going to get to a wave, and I think we're getting closer where teams go the other way. When everybody is going so much of a passing league that you get a beneficiary when you have an elite running back, and you can start to value that a little bit more. But right now, if you're teach your kids to be something other than running backs, because it's not a favorable spot.
No, I'm with you there. You better teach them to be something else, because that one is a position that, damn, dude, it just doesn't allow you. Now, the Bills situation, clearly Stephon Diggs is a guy that is, let's just say, a load to deal with, not just on the field, but off the field. And so all the talk that you heard from McDermott, and then the fact that Josh Allen is kind of taking blame himself for what's going on with Diggs, to me, this is so bogus that it just seems to me like this entire organization is walking on eggshells because they're worried about pissing him off. Because last time I checked, Josh Allen is the most lovable dude that you can get along with in that entire team, that entire community. Everybody embraces that guy. That guy never has any issues with anybody. It's everybody that's had issues, or maybe it's Stephon Diggs that has issues with the world. So this is the first comment out of McDermott was concern, and then after that he's backtracked to tell us how much he loves him and how much he's important and all this. And it's almost like they've got to worry about insulting or worried about the petulant child's feelings. What is it that's going on there, bro? The guy's making a boatload of money. He's the number one wide receiver. What more does he want, Cam?
Yeah, Steph can be a diva. He's your quintessential wide receiver diva, and he can be an emotional player, and it can help you when he's really on, but it can hurt you. I mean, we've seen some of his blow-ups on the sideline, and I think a lot of it comes out of passion, and a lot of us don't understand that, and we don't agree with it. But from what I what I
It's
can
the
gather.
immaturity of the passion, I think, is what
Yes,
we don't
correct.
agree with.
It's how he handles it, right? Other people may handle it or express it in a different way. This is how he expresses it, and so he's clearly been unhappy with how they've been building the team and how they went about the end of last season. And you could see it with the blow up with Josh Allen in that final game. He stormed out of the locker room, didn't talk to reporters, and nobody's really heard much from him since that moment. And so he has a contract that, gives him a lot of money. He has a lot of guarantees. I don't think this is contract related. I think this is him not being happy with either Josh Allen or the team, which, what can you do about that? You just try to make him feel a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more happy. But the thing with when you have guys like Stephon Diggs, you're going to have to massage them a little bit. You're going to have to work it. You're going to have to make them feel like they are always included, that they are always important. And there's going to be maintenance involved. And essentially you put up with it as long as he's worth the stress. And Antonio Brown wasn't worth the stress. So a lot of teams finally cut bait. But teams kept trying because he had the talent. And it was like, maybe if we can deal with the maintenance of Antonio Brown, we can get the talent. Right now, Stephon Diggs' talent far outweighs the maintenance. But as he declines and as he gets older, I wonder if that shortens his career.
Yeah, once the like I always say, once the baggage overwhelms the talent, you're done. And that's like Antonio Brown. Antonio Brown could still be one of the 5 or 10 best wide receivers right now in the NFL.
Absolutely.
But the baggage got you out of the league. And by the way, rumor has it that Adiza Bakari hired Tony Robbins on retainer so he can, those 3 a.m. calls where Stephon is calling Adiza, they call Tony Robbins to give him a motivational speech. So,
gotcha. And I mentioned
that's what I heard. That's what I heard.
And I mentioned it a little earlier, but the news dropped that Ja Morant will be suspended for 25 games.
Oh, it is? It's 25? Yeah. It came out finally?
Yeah. So I mentioned Ja 25, but I didn't make it clear what I was saying. But yeah, Woj reported that they suspended Ja Morant 25 games.
I thought it was going to be at least half a season, maybe more, to maybe a full season.
I think 25 is probably about right. It doesn't derail the entire season, but it sends a significant enough message. You're missing at least a third of a season.
Maybe not. Maybe it's just 25 game vacation, and then you're labeled the savior. You're labeled the savior when you come back, and then you're like, "Oh, me, I brought you all back," and then maybe you didn't learn a damn thing.
Right, but it's unpaid. So this guy's making what, 30 something million dollars a year. So that's close to $10 million that you're losing in salary and games. So it's not like a paid vacation. Hey, I don't care how much money Jobs making. You lose $10 million. That's a significant thing. And then obviously it's going to probably eliminate him from all the All-Star and all the All-NBA ballots for missing that many games. He already missed his chance to get a Supermax extension because he missed the All-NBA last year, and so it prevents him from doing it this year. And so I think more than anything, taking money away hurts the player. Taking games away hurts the team.
Yeah.
So you hurt the team a little. You hurt the team some, and you hurt the player a decent amount as well.
I like that. I don't know if he'll learn. I gotta see if he'll learn, because from the first to the second incident was so incredibly stupid and in such a short amount of time. Like the level of ignorance is crazy. So it's kind of
all we can do is
it's like, you know what it is? It's like I want the Heat to get Dame Lillard. I don't really want Bradley Beal because I'm not convinced he's a dog, actually.
Okay.
I'm not convinced. So he'll come here and I won't be that excited. He'll have to convince me that he's a dog. I think he can score because he's on a terrible team. And so, he gets the ball every night, so he's going to put up great points. And I know he's got talent, but I'm not sure. And I know I'm sure of this. He's not Dame Lillard. That's what I'm sure of.
Yeah, Dame's different.
That's an SOB. Right. That's an SOB, Dame. That's the guy that cuts your heart out and looks at you while you're taking your last breath and saying, "You see, that's what you get for messing with me." That's Dame Lillard. That's the guy I think Jimmy needs. If you're the Heat, you agree with me? You got to make the move for Lillard over Beal?
Hey, if Lillard is available, $3 million for the Hornets for Michael Jordan, by the way. We said $3 million. $3 billion.
$3 billion?
Yeah, with a B. $3 billion.
I didn't know it. Wow.
Yeah, Yeah.
3 billion. So then the Knicks are like 5, right? And
Maybe
the
double.
Lakers must be
Lakers
like
probably
6 or
10,
something.
15. I
Wow.
bet you it's 5. I bet you it's at least 6 or 7 for the Knicks. Probably 7, and then probably 10 for the Lakers.
Probably. Wow. I didn't know they were worth that much. The Hornets?
Yeah,
The
it's crazy.
Hornets?
It's crazy.
Wow. That's
Crazy.
nuts.
Sorry.
Well, you know what?
I'm sorry. I just saw
You know
that come
what?
across. I was like, I figured that
You
was
know
worth
what?
mentioning.
You're right. And I'm wrong, really wrong for thinking just over $1 billion. You know why? I have a story here that I was going to talk about later. The Tampa Bay Lightning, they're selling minority ownership on an evaluation of $1.4 billion.
Yeah.
So that's
Yeah.
hockey.
And
The
yeah,
NBA is way ahead.
yeah. I'd imagine that any, like, maybe I'm not educated on the value of hockey teams, but I'd imagine that any NBA team clears the highest, you know,
Anything of hockey.
value hockey team. Like, what's the highest value hockey team? Maybe
probably Toronto. Toronto.
Yeah, Toronto or the Bruins or something like that. Maybe the Rangers. Rangers might be high up there too.
Might, yeah.
You know, I'd imagine that. I'd imagine that none of them are getting $3 million that the Hornets are getting.
Right. Yeah. No, that's crazy. You're right.
$3 billion.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. What do you got going on NFL Network so folks can check you out? Because I see you got your golf gear right now.
Oh yeah, I am heading to the course. It feels like the hottest day in the summer of South Florida, but we're golfing, and so I've got a tee time around noon, and so I'll go do that. And what's today? Today is Friday. Enjoy the weekend. It's Father's Day, so I get some Father's Day love with my daughter, and then Monday I'll be back on TV for Total Access. So we'll probably talk a little bit of Dolphins, and you'll probably see me once a week until training camp on TV. And then I think I told you guys last time I'll be hosting Good Morning Football the second week of July. And so we'll have a bunch of talks there. I'll make sure to talk some Dolphins there as well. And so kind of sporadic coverage over the next 5-6 weeks as we kind of get a little bit of a rest, but should be a fun season ahead.
Good stuff as always. Cam, appreciate you, my brother. Have a great weekend and happy Father's Day.
Appreciate you. Thanks, man.
Thank you, sir. There you go. The Wolf Pack has been unleashed. We wrap up hour number 1. Manny Navarro starts off hour number 2.